Hello, everybody, and welcome to GameStack Podcast. You're listening to episode 158, Got Our Shift Together, right here on We Just Love Games Network. I'm your co-host, Vendertron. Joining me this evening, as always, is the lovely Shalene. Hello, Shalene.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing, my dear? How was your week?
It was a week,
Oh, really?
actually. It was a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Um, I was very, very busy at work, had some really challenging things to deal with, and then I got sick yesterday, so I had to call in. Yeah, it was just not great. But I'm doing okay. I am surviving, I'm coping. I have Animal Crossing to get me through.
Oh,
So
yes. Yes, that is always a failsafe now in life, for me as
mhm.
well. I'm glad that you're feeling well enough to do a show.
Me too.
So,
Me
all of you tuning in live, you can put away your pitchforks and torches
too.
because we are here. Don't forget the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that particular blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. Please tell your friends about the show. Join us live on Fridays if you can. We love to have a live chat audience listening in at the end of the week. But if you are unable to make the show live, that is okay because we appreciate you listening after the fact as well. That's where we get the bulk of our listeners for the podcast, of course. If you miss the show and you want to be involved in the community, you can do that by going to Discord, and Shalene is going to tell you all about the Discord this week.
Indeed. You can join our Discord by clicking the link on our Twitch page. If you're here with us live, that's right below our screen. But that link is live whether or not the show is. So visit twitch.tv/We Just Love Games and join our Discord that way. It has been a pretty busy time in the Discord over this past week or so. We've had a lot of activity. A very active question that Tim asked had a lot of answers. We've moved that to the mail stack so that we
Oh,
can
okay.
chat about it on the
Excellent.
show.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of activity in the Baldur's Gate channel and some of the other channels. So,
Baldur's Gate is
yeah.
taking the internet by
Oh, yeah.
storm.
And Sulior mentions the GIF conversation. So, of course, we have a GIF Wars channel, but the power of the GIF leaked out into the general gaming channel,
As it
and
does
for
sometimes.
about a week, the general gaming channel was GIF Wars, and it was pretty funny.
I don't check into GIF Wars as often as I should. I've muted it because it's just so active and it's just like all day long every day, right? So you have to mute it. But
I
when it's
had to mute it because it was killing my work productivity.
when it's muted, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? So you totally forget about it. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, the GIF Wars channel is one of the most popular channels. I'm sure if we ran the stats on our Discord, we would see that is the one channel that is most active. But
Yes, one channel to rule them all.
yeah, DIY Stack is
The
coming
darkness
along
smiling.
really nicely, I gotta say. Kawaii Banana Sushi has posted some new photos of the progress on her Mando armor,
Yes, it
which
looks
looks
really cool.
so good. And I asked her, like, is this for Halloween? Is it for a convention? Like, are you just planning to clean the house with it on? Like, I don't know. And she's like, I do conventions. And she said she's been doing them since 2019. And also made some Shadow Trooper armor, but this one in particular, she likes to do some funny things where she'll just like sit there and like drink out of tiny teacups or like knit. So knit some
I
socks or
love
something.
the idea of like a Mandalorian in full armor just knitting.
Just knitting, right?
I just love that.
I told her that she should knit a baby Grogu because that would be adorable. Yeah. Or a little jacket for baby Grogu. Or like some chainmail. Knit
Oh,
some chainmail. Right?
I can't. I can't.
I love our Discord. It's so good.
So cute.
Our Discord is a significant source of my happiness during the week.
You know what? I have to agree with that. I feel like the community there is important to my well-being in
Yes.
general. Just
Yes. I agree. Anyways, that's the Discord. If you want to join it, twitch.tv/we just love games, right below Shalene there in the about page. The link is there. That will get you right into the Discord. We do have a jam-packed show this evening. We're going to talk about some news. We are going to take you through some of the video game stocks over the last week. And we also have some mail stacks, some screenshots and stories, and then Shalene and I are going to talk extensively about Animal Crossing. Apologies in advance. But
Sorry, not
yes,
sorry.
let's hop into the news with this just in. And I'll hand it over to you, Shalene.
Why, thank you. I just love that bumper.
I know.
As always, shout out to Joseph Tao. We really appreciate you compiling the news for us every week. And I was thinking? It's been a while since we've just like had a chat with Joseph Tao.
I
Like, what's he
know.
playing lately? What's he up to?
Has he just?
What's he doing? He's a
Is
mysterious
he
man.
okay? Is he just
Is
like
he
a?
okay?
Is he an AI bot entity now? Like.
Yeah, he did. Like, it's been forever since we just had a casual chat. So Joseph, call us. We
Call
miss
us.
you.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on to the news. This is a gamesindustry.biz article by Jeffrey Rousseau. Microsoft will be shutting down the Xbox 360 store in July of 2024. Xbox One and Xbox Series XS console owners will still be able to purchase backwards compatible titles. Customers will not be able to purchase games, DLC, and content from the store on the 360 consoles and the Xbox 360 marketplace. But you will be able to purchase from the digital store until July of 2024. Dave McCarthy, the corporate vice president of Xbox Player Services, said, "This change will not affect your ability to play Xbox 360 games or DLC that you have already purchased.
Good.
Xbox 360 game content previously purchased will still be available to play not only on the 360 console, but also on Xbox One and Series XS devices via backwards compatibility. And multiplayer for Xbox 360 titles will remain unaffected as long as the publisher continues to support that functionality." Sulior in the chat says, "I hate that this keeps happening." And you know what? So do I. But it's honestly an unavoidable part of this mostly digital world that we live in now. And I think we do need to consider different ways to save some of these builds and stuff.
Yeah.
Joseph left a bit of commentary under this article. He says, "Honestly, I'm sad to see this go. Hopefully all the builds will be saved for the sake of cataloging." And I hope he's right. I hope someone thinks of that and makes sure to save archives.
Well, it is also worth noting that I believe that backwards compatible titles will still be purchasable on the newer systems, but we're only talking about a quarter of the Xbox 360's library being playable on the Xbox One and the Series, like 600 some games out of like the 2,000 games that they have. So I think that's a pretty big loss for, we were just talking about game preservation and archives and things like that. But
something that comes up a lot for us.
Yeah. That's really sad, It's nice that they've given, I think that they've given a reasonable amount of time of notice, right? It's been like, what, a year?
I agree with that. Yeah, that's nearly a year of notice.
Yeah. But their versions of digital only games will be inaccessible without the disc-based games or without, like, I don't know, piracy. So
yeah, it's always a little, I guess, distasteful to talk about piracy, but piracy does have a role in game conservation. It really does, because that's, frankly, it's the only way to obtain some games that are now unpurchasable.
Dare we call it ethical piracy?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we do dare. Yeah. Well, if you would like to purchase some Xbox 360 games while they're still available, boy, have we got some news for you. There is an Xbox sale that has made some games as cheap as what, Bender?
$1?
$1? I love it. You say it so good. Um,
It's my favorite quote in the entire movie. And if any of you don't get that, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Xbox Live Gold is ending as a service. Of course, it's becoming part of Game Pass, which means that this month is the final month of deals with Gold. And the current deals with Gold discounts 59 different Xbox One, Series X, and Series S games. Some of these deals are for big AAA games, others are for smaller games, and discount some of these games to dirt cheap prices. 3 different games are currently on sale for
$1?
Of course, you do have to have Xbox Live Gold to access these deals. Some of the bigger games in the sale are Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Dying Light, Borderlands 3, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, Borderlands Legendary Collection, New Tales from the Borderlands, A Plague Tale: Innocence, Evil West, Kerbal Space Program, Greedfall, Vampire, and Prey. Meanwhile, those 3 games that cost
$1?
our Sir Lovelot, which looks pretty cute. It is a little platformer that looks pretty zany, where this guy is a knight trying to impress some ladies that are in some kind of very form-fitting dresses. Violet Remastered is a game in which a young and rebellious teenage girl named Violet moves to an old, spooky house in the middle of nowhere. Forced away from her friends and life in the city, she imagines how boring life in the countryside will be, but she cannot imagine that in just a few moments, she'll have the adventure of her life. And the final dollar game is Q Yo Blaster, a horizontal shoot 'em up with peculiar characters, strange enemies, bullets, and many explosions. Enter the miniature world and stop the threat. So,
Are you going to pick up any of these $1?
absolutely not.
Okay.
They don't look that great, if we're being honest. I wouldn't buy that for $1.
$1.
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are so many amazing games right now, and my game stack is ludicrous at this time, and I'm currently under a lot of peer pressure from my bosses to play Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about Animal Crossing there for a moment.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is also peer pressure to be part of the Animal Crossing community from my besties. So
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3, I hear nothing but good things about it.
yeah, both of my bosses have now spent extensive time trying to convince me to play it. So I may have to purchase this game.
Yeah, if not for your own personal gain, for your
For
professional
my
gain.
career.
Yes.
Yes, it's important to my career that I play Baldur's Gate 3.
Who would have thought?
And that's what I'm going to tell Archon when he asks why I'm buying new games.
Yes. I think that that's a wise choice.
Career development.
It is also leverage for when you have to take your next sick day. Yeah.
Oh my
They'll
goodness.
They'll understand.
So speaking of that stack getting bigger and bigger, Starfield is coming out soon, Thunder. It's
coming out way quicker than I thought it would be. September 6th is like just around the corner, and you see this box right here? That is still my new PC, not put together, not purchased completely. The motherboard,
Really?
the motherboard's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Get the towers right here. So, yeah. That
We're
was the
getting
goal for
close.
Starfield, was to have that built by then, but it's not going to happen.
How's your Starfield hype level?
Well, as you can see, not that great right now, Shalene. So,
yeah.
but you know what? I think it's a good thing because there's a silver lining to it. I've been burned in the past by getting all into games at launch and there being a total disaster. So this will give me a chance to sort of see it, and then make an informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
But anyways, tell me about Starfield.
Starfield, we have more information about Starfield. We are working from a Kotaku article written by Ethan Gack, and a significant new amount of material has been introduced. So, will you be able to buy apartments in cities that you travel to? Will you be able to smuggle illicit items across galactic borders? Will you go to jail if you do crimes? The answer to these questions and more is yes.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely going to end up in jail. Um,
I'm gonna end up in jail because I'm gonna have to steal the rest of these computer parts. Carry on.
yeah, I think when I play Starfield, I'm going to play on my Xbox Series X. I think I'm going to start there, and it's on Game Pass, so I feel like that's the way to go for
Playing it on
me.
the couch is a wise choice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So on August 16th, which was 2 days ago as of the date we're recording, Bethesda held a Q&A with fans on Discord, picking and choosing which comments to respond to while they're trying to sort of indulge the hype, but also keep things still under wraps. And they did shed light on some new possibilities that were not previously confirmed. And here are the highlights from that Q&A, according to Kotaku. Dwellings can be acquired in all major cities, some of them by purchasing and others through quests. I'm really hoping personally that these dwellings are pre-furnished and you can just move in and enjoy your
No.
lovely home.
No.
I don't want to build them from the
That's
ground
not.
up.
It's not gonna
I
be
don't
like
want to
that.
do that. I'm tired of building stuff. Give me some options that are move-in ready. We're not all built for DIY, Bender. We're not all built for DIY.
I know. I know. It's okay to be wrong though.
Some items will be considered contraband and will need to be hidden on your ship using special modules to pass inspection. So I assume we're going to have like secret compartments and stuff. We're going to be
Cool.
like hiding
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff from, yeah.
I can't wait
Faction
to hide.
quests.
I can't wait to hide like drugs in my apartment.
No, we're talking about Starfield.
Oh,
Starfield.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
probably still going to be a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Like
Uh,
I wonder what the Starfield equivalent of Jet is going to be.
I don't
Like,
know. I wonder if they're going to go with like real drugs because it feels like Starfield has a bit of a base in reality in like
mm,
NASA history and that kind of thing. So are they going to go with like is it just going to be like heroin that we're smuggling, or is it are they going to have fictional drugs?
no idea.
Fictional future drugs.
Yeah.
I'm really interested now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
yes. Um, faction quests are not mutually exclusive and can all be completed independently. There are up to 20 named characters that can join your crew, follow you around, and carry your stuff.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. You can commit crimes and go to jail, pay a fine, or resist arrest. The mechs are in ruins and are not usable. And a fully non lethal playthrough is not possible. That is
Okay.
very interesting.
Okay, the mech's in ruins and not usable. Rick's not going to be happy about that. He's
We're gonna
not.
have to get him back on the show. We're gonna have to make him
Also,
come on the show when it's Starfield time.
also the fully non-lethal playthrough, you're not going to be happy about that.
Well, I don't mind
You do love your
killing
stealth
stuff.
runs.
I do, but I don't think of stealth runs in Bethesda games in the same way as I do
Okay.
in something like a Dishonored or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I mean if you had a choice between stealth run and melee run,
I'm gonna punch some dudes in the face.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder what's talking about Jet and the drug equivalent. I wonder what the Death Tambo equivalent will be. Like, is there going to be these crazy melee weapons with like, little nuclear reactors on them or something that like I don't know.
I hope there are some very zany weapons in Starfield. Oh, I'm starting to feel the Starfield hype. No, stop it, Heart. Stop it. This is how you get broken.
This is how it happens. What is it? Today's 18th. So
Yeah,
we
we've got
are,
about 2 weeks. We're about
yeah,
2 weeks
yeah.
out.
You know
Yeah.
what, Shalene? I may actually just have to make this PC build happen
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I had a committee meeting this week, um,
Right.
and a couple of my committee members were like, "Are you okay? You look really tired." And I was like, "I'm fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. It's fine." And they were like, "Okay, when you finish what you need to do for your exam requirements from January at the end of this month, which is the deadline, we
Mm-hmm.
want you to take a mandatory 2 weeks vacation in September, minimum 2 weeks, preferably 3 weeks."
Take the three. Take the three.
So I'm kind of thinking, let's get this built.
And live
Starfield.
your best Starfield life.
Yeah.
I love it,
Yeah.
Bender. I felt like I could hear Morgan Freeman as the narrator. Friends, he was not fine.
Yeah.
Oh dear. That's simultaneously not a good sign and a great thing that your committee noticed that you needed this break.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like on the one hand, it's not great that you were visibly tired, but it
But
is great that they care
yeah,
about
like
your well-being.
it's funny because I was saying, like, people are like, well, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't really have any money. And then I was like,
Yes.
but I could probably search the couch cushions to
Finishing
buy.
a PC build costs a lot less than a vacation.
Well, I don't know about that. I still got to get a graphics card and a
Ooh,
processor.
yeah, the graphics card is probably your most expensive bit of the thing.
So I'm
Okay.
still looking at $1,500 to finish
So
this
the
build. So
GoFundMe for vendors PC will be up there.
anyways, I'm excited for Starfield 2. I think it's going to be really good. I'm cautiously optimistic though. I still am. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So reading a little bit more into this article, the designers spoke at length about some of the world building in the game, including the role that religion will play in Starfield's universe. There are sanctum universals who believe that space exploration is a way to get close to God, and a group of atheists called the Enlightened, who are focused on secular humanitarian programs. And then there is House Varun, a death cult that loves snakes. Here's how Pagliarulo describes it. So in the game, you're not really sure what the complete truth is, but the gossip among the guards is this. A colony ship sets off for a new world, making grav jumps along the way. After one of the grav jumps, one of the passengers claims that he spent time communing with a celestial entity known as the Great Serpent. What was a few seconds for everyone else was much longer for him. And he brought back a mandate, which is basically get on board or be devoured when the Great Serpent encircles the universe. So, yeah, that's a thing. That's a
Sounds like
thing.
some tinfoil stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. Anonymous Anubis in chat says, "Are we talking PC upgrades?" Yes, we are, Anonymous.
Oh, Anonymous Anubis. There's a name I haven't seen for a while.
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Anonymous Anubis. It's nice to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you're like me and not building a new rig for Starfield,
Well, okay,
uh,
let me just clarify this for everyone listening. I'm not actually building it just for Starfield.
of course it's
Just to
time.
clarify.
It
Yeah.
is time for
It's
you to
just
do an
time.
upgrade.
It's time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But for those of you like me who are not building a new rig, you're probably thinking about what you need to dump from your hard drive to make room for this game.
It's
And
true. It's true.
the file size was revealed to be 126 gigabytes for Xbox and 140 gigabytes for PC. Preloading has already begun on Xbox and the Windows Store and will be beginning on August 30th for Steam pre-orders. So go ahead and make those Sophie's choices. So yeah,
That's exciting, Shalene.
isn't it?
That's very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so as exciting as it is that Starfield is almost here, I'm also a little bit concerned about the fact that my GameStack just keeps growing and growing and growing.
It just there's no you can't. It's just like
There's
this.
no avoiding that, is there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that stack is going to continue getting bigger as the year progresses because there are some games I'm very interested in coming out.
Oh no.
One of those is Alan Wake 2. I don't know if you remember. I really liked Alan Wake. Like
Yes, you
I
did.
really liked it.
You did.
And Alan Wake 2 is coming soon, later this year. It has been delayed by 10 days. So it was originally set to release on the 17th of October, and now it will be releasing on the 27th of October, which kind of makes sense. It makes sense to put the spooky game next to Halloween. But the reason for this delay is basically to move it out of the way of some other game releases. A quote from Remedy says, "October is an amazing month for game launches, and we hope this date shift gives more space for everyone to enjoy their favorite games. We can't wait to show you what everyone's favorite novelist is up to in the dark place next week. Thanks for your patience."
Now, what did you like the most about the original Alan Wake, Shalene?
Okay, my favorite thing about the original Alan Wake was the storyline, basically, and Alan as a character. It
Yeah.
felt very much like a Stephen King novel in many
Oh,
ways.
okay.
And that's also another thing that I'm very fond of is Stephen King novels. So,
Yes, yes. I mean, I I really want there to be some X-Files references in
yeah.
this because, can
Mm-hmm.
we just have like Scully carved on a tree somewhere?
There has to be some X-Files Easter eggs in this because you will spend half of the game playing as this FBI agent.
Right?
So it just seems it's so obvious. It's yeah. I'd be shocked if we didn't find some Easter eggs. Oh, I
Mm.
can't wait. I can't wait for this game.
So what are you
I'm so
expecting?
excited.
What are you expecting in Alan Wake 2?
I am expecting a very interesting story. I am expecting some jump scares and some somewhat clunky combat. I don't expect for this to play beautifully, but I do expect for it to be very compelling. I expect for it to be a fun experience. I expect for it to be a good enough story to keep me going, even though I get scared.
Okay. Yeah, this demon looking thing with the horns looks a little scary.
He does look scary.
And he's
I may have to
wielding an
play this
axe
game like on stream just so that I have company.
with all the lights on in the house.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Archon's gonna have to hold my hand, which I'm
This may
not sure
be.
how I'm gonna man the controller,
I mean,
but
I'm sure this is a game that you want to sink solo time into, but I feel like
mm-hmm.
this would be a good game that we could play together and I could spectate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm absolutely down for that, but I will probably have a save file going on my own
Yeah, you're
as
not.
well.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But in terms of other October games that this is moving out of the way of, Detective Pikachu Returns will be out on the 6th of October, which again, that's another one going on the stack. Forza Motorsport on the 10th of October and Lords of the Fallen on the 13th. Um, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Cities Skylines 2, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, Alone in the Dark. These are all games coming out in October.
Alone in the
So
Dark?
yeah, it's an Alone in the Dark like re. It's not a remaster. It's like a reimagining. Is
In
my
like a
understanding
video
of Alone in the
game.
Dark.
Huh. Did
Mm-hmm,
you used
mm-hmm.
to watch that when you were younger?
No, I'm not sure that I'm familiar with what you're talking
Oh,
about. The
Alone in the
Alone in the Dark
Dark.
I'm familiar with was a video game.
No, no, no. There was a kids sort of horror show called Alone in the Dark.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I got
Okay. So while vendors fact checking, I'm going to mention that there is another game coming out in
Oh,
October that is okay, go
sorry.
ahead.
I found it. It's not Alone in the Dark. It's Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes, I remember that. I
Yes.
remember
Okay,
that.
carry on. Carry
Mhm.
on.
There is another October game that is on that pile that has also shifted its release date. Assassin's Creed Mirage has been moved forward a week. This game was originally scheduled to release on October the 12th, but will now be available on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox on October the 5th. That is so soon. That is just so soon. I'm so excited for all these video games.
AC Mirage, like, Shalene, it looks really good.
Doesn't it?
It
I'm
looks really
so
good.
so pleased to see the Assassin's Creed series making an Assassin's Creed game. And
Yeah,
like
like,
I'm not trying to dog some of the newer Assassin's Creed games. They're excellent games. I've played some of all of the new ones, but they're just not the same as they used to be.
yeah,
And
yeah.
this definitely speaks to the Assassin's Creed that I fell in love with.
It's really exciting to do an episode of GameStack and talk about all of these great things that are coming. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be a really good fall slide into winter.
Right.
Like, all of these great titles that are happening are going to soothe the sorrows of snow that is
Mm-hmm.
coming, and cold. I think it's going to be really good. Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. Oh gosh, I'm just watching the vendors got a trailer
Yeah.
playing on the video version, and I'm enraptured. I'm so excited to play this game.
Yep. It is going
Yes,
to be good.
indeed. So um man, this year is gonna be a good year for video games.
I know, right? But
What's
wait,
your
there's
game of the
more.
year so far?
Animal Crossing. But I mean, if we're talking about new games,
Yeah.
new to me or new releases, again,
Well,
Animal Crossing.
we usually go with new releases for the
Yeah, I
game of
don't
the
know.
year.
I don't know. I need time to think about that. The year's not over yet, Shalene.
Mm-hmm.
We're only in August here. Calm down.
Yeah. For me so far, it's probably Tears of the Kingdom. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, it has been dethroned on Metacritic by Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3's Metacritic is now better. So um the we've got a 97. Um and I'm really, it's a little surprising to see that anything is topping Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom had 96 and Baldur's Gate had 97. So that's looking
Baldur's Gate.
pretty good.
And you're going to get this. You're going to get this game, right? Like, you're
I
going
think
to
I'm gonna have
it's
to. I
probably
mean,
like it is good for professional development.
I have
Um
also been really, really jonesing for a new Dragon Age situation. And this is it. You know, Baldur's Gate is gonna be it. That's of course the Dragon Age series was built on the bones of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
mhm.
So
Now, I wonder, has Rick played Baldur's Gate?
I don't
I
know. We'll
wonder
have
what
to
his
ask him.
impressions are
I haven't
because
talked to Rick in like a week.
I know.
It's been a while since I've talked to
I think
Rick.
he's vacationing
He's
right
on
now.
vacation. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on
yeah,
vacation right now. So,
yeah.
I do want to hear if he's been playing this and what he thinks of it. So, we should try and get him on the show again.
Yeah, we
We
should.
miss Ask Rick, everybody. Tell him to come back to the podcast. Um, Speaking of Tears of the Kingdom, it looks like okay, this is a Forbes article, and this is kind of astounding to read this headline.
Right?
Tears of the Kingdom's launch was so good that it reportedly boosted Japan's GDP.
Now, we may have just been bashing Tears of the Kingdom as being knocked down a peg in the Steam popularity, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's still an amazing game. We're not arguing that.
yeah.
And there's no denying its popularity. But yeah, it was so successful it affected the economy of an entire country.
That's actually kind of crazy. Tell me more. Tell me more.
That's wild. So, according to Japanese news outlet Manichi Shinbun, the This game, among some others, boosted the GDP. And some key facts: despite private consumption in Japan dropping by 0.5% compared with the first quarter of the year, spending on semi-durable products, which includes video games, rose by 2.8%. And citing an unnamed official from the Japanese Cabinet Office, the new video game releases during the quarter significantly contributed to that sharp rise. Several high-profile Japanese-made games were released during this period, including the Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, Capcom's Street Fighter VI, and Square Enix's Final Fantasy XVI. While both the new Street Fighter and Final Fantasy games recorded strong sales, the highly anticipated Tears of the Kingdom became the fastest-selling Nintendo game of all time.
Wow.
And Japan reported a better than expected annualized GDP growth of 6% in this quarter. So that's amazing. That's amazing.
I love that. I love that because Japan is like, meanwhile, Japan's like, we just boosted our GDP with a single game or a few games. Meanwhile, China is like, we need to limit people's screen time.
Right?
It's amazing. It's such a slap in the face, right?
Mm-hmm. That is wild. That is wild.
Yeah. Okay. How many copies of Tears of the Kingdom have been sold?
18 point something million, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Let me just click back through this article.
Nintendo's #1 selling game of all time. All time, Shalene. Like more than Tetris?
Okay. 18.51 million as of June 30th. And I'm sure that the number is bigger now.
Shocking.
So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is a lot. Hey, do you want to talk about some of the best-selling video games of all time?
Yeah.
I do too. I thought this was a really interesting article.
Okay. While we're on the subject of best-selling video games of all time, let's talk about best-selling video games of all time.
Yeah, Joseph included this article, and I thought it was really interesting. The website is called For the Win from USA Today, written by Nick Schwartz.
Okay.
And it gives us the best-selling video game of each year since 1993.
All right,
and I thought it would just be really fun to go through these.
Okay.
1993, Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
1994, Donkey Kong Country. I have such strong nostalgia for Donkey Kong Country.
You're playing through it right now.
It's so good still. It holds up.
It does. It actually does. Yeah.
The best-selling game of 1995 was Mortal Kombat 3.
Mortal Kombat.
In 1996, unsurprisingly, it was Super Mario 64.
Oh, yeah. Spent a lot of time in that game, let me tell you.
1997, also unsurprisingly, Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, Mario Kart 64 was like... That was the game that made the N64. I think. Yeah. Personally. Anyways, continue.
1998, Pokemon Red Blue. So that was a Game Boy game.
Yeah.
1999, Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, Yellow.
I remember
also
that.
For the Game Boy.
Which one did you have, Shalene?
I didn't play Pokemon. Yeah. Oh. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Go.
I think I had Red and Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2000, it was Pokemon Gold Silver for the Game Boy Color. Mm-hmm. So, and in 2001, Pokemon Gold Silver Crystal.
Holy man, Pokemon just took over the gaming industry, didn't
dominating.
I mean, Pokemon was a huge thing. Like, I remember, like, convincing my dad to drive across the city so I could get a Pokemon card at this stupid shop that was like... I'm like, it's a super rare card. Like, I have to have it. And now it's sitting in a box somewhere under the stairs.
You know what? You should probably check on that because some of those rare Pokemon cards are very valuable right now. Yeah. Maybe you could finance your new computer build.
Yeah.
Entirely possible.
Not a bad idea, Shalene.
In 2002, the top-selling video game was Grand Theft Auto Vice City for the PlayStation 2.
Absolutely makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2003, Madden NFL 2004. which is kind of funny that the 2003 best-selling game was
Yeah, that was like,
2004.
good job. Nice try.
In 2004, the top-selling game was GTA San Andreas. I didn't realize that San Andreas came out so quickly after Vice City.
San Andreas was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Man, remember when Rockstar used to release games before every 15 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, like more than one game a console cycle instead of more than it would be like 3 games per console cycle instead of
Well,
three console cycles per game.
all of the money that they've gained over the years from these games is going to dry up soon. So,
Mm-hmm. In 2005, the top game was Gran Turismo 4. In 2006, it was New Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo DS. I loved that game. It was so good. In 2007, the top game was Halo 3.
2007. I
Mm-hmm.
had just graduated high school.
Wow. I had just graduated college. Yeah. Halo 3, I was one of the people who bought this game. I was so excited about it. It still holds up. Still holds up. 2008, Mario Kart Wii.
And that's where the phrase thread the needle was born.
2009, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. 2010, Call of Duty Black Ops. 2011, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Wow. Yeah.
2012, Black Ops 2. 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5.
And that was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
Like, we thought GTA, Vice City, and San Andreas were hot ticket items. I think GTA 5 is where Rockstar really broke the mold in the GTA franchise, because I think it would, graphics wise, it changed everything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 2014, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. 2015, Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
God
2016, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. These names get more ridiculous. In 2017, Call of Duty World War II.
It is time to dethrone Call of Duty, I think. It's
Well,
actually
that
more
happened.
successful than Pokemon.
In 2018, it was dethroned by Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I need to go back to that game too.
I know, it's so good. I still have to finish collecting all the furs.
Mm-hmm. In 2019, the best-selling game was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the second one. And in 2020, the best-selling game, unsurprisingly, was Animal Crossing New Horizons. This game will always be a huge part of history because of the pandemic. I feel like the timing of this launch with the situation that the world was in at the time, it was the game we needed. Like this was the hero Gotham needed, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah, and you're right.
Yeah.
Because everything about the game is just so happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even the sad is happy.
And it actually managed to bring joy to our lives in a time where there wasn't much joy. And also, like, okay, how do I say this without sounding absolutely pathetic? But like, it was a surrogate for social interactions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, maybe I couldn't hang out with my friends, but I could go visit Flurry at her little house and hang out with that hamster.
And you could send them hats. You could gift them hats.
So many hats.
Yeah.
So many hats. In 2021, the top selling game was Call of Duty Vanguard, which I've actually never heard of. I haven't even heard of this one. In 2022, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the second one.
Okay. Okay. What is going on here? Like, what? I don't even know. I can't. There are better games.
Yeah.
Like, what?
But apparently there aren't better selling games. So in 2023, as of August 2nd, the best selling games thus far, Hogwarts Legacy. So,
All right. All right. I accept
ah,
that.
Vodka Knockers in chat says that Vanguard is another World War II one. Thank you for clearing that up. I don't know how this one managed to completely slip by me. Never heard of it. But
I'm sure
that
Vanguard is good. I did play one of the World War II
mhm,
Call of Duties, and it was pretty good.
yeah.
I gotta say.
So Joseph Tao had a little bit of commentary here. He says you can easily tell when video games became more mainstream and thus the corporate downhill spiraled again with AAA publishers. Yeah, that was when the Call of Duties took over. And I'm not saying that Call of Duty is terrible. I've really enjoyed all of the Call of Duties that I've played, but
It's
come on,
such a
guys.
niche game to be so prevalent, but I guess that there just is. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. We'll see. I think Call of Duty. We're in a new decade now for games, and I think Call of Duty is actually going to fall out of favor.
You think?
Yeah, I predict that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm exhausted. Do you want to take this next one?
Yes, but I will. I also want to say that I'm actually really surprised, Shalene, that Fallout is not on any of those lists.
Well, it's never been, a top seller. Just because it's number one in our hearts, it's not that top
Yeah.
selling game.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Thanks for ripping that band-aid off.
yeah,
Is that the news?
that's the news.
Okay. Let's talk about some stocks. As always, these prices are in comparison to last week's episode of GameStack, a podcast. You can listen to episode 157 if you want to get those numbers, but I'll give you a comparison now. Sony closed out today at $82.66, which is down $2.92. Microsoft down $4.53 at $316.48. Nintendo down just 20 cents at $10.47. Take Two down 274 at 137.46. Activision down 74 cents at 90.47. Ubisoft down 69 cents at 27.12. EA down $3.84 at 118.36, and Tencent down $1.03 at 41.09. And it's really interesting, Shalene, because a week ago I was saying all of these stocks are up. Everything is up. And the week before that, all of the stocks were down. Everything was down. And it seems to me that there is a baseline fluctuation across all of these
Mm-hmm.
companies, right?
There really is. Yeah.
It seems right now that it just seems how it is. I did find a Morningstar article that you all might be interested in by Jalid Singil. And they talk about 4 undervalued video game stocks that you might want to consider. And this 2022 was a considerable losing streak for the video game stock market industry, but we have made some steady gains throughout 2023. Despite rising prices, some of the biggest high quality game stocks are still trading at attractive prices that you might want to consider. And these include some of the biggest names in the industry like Nintendo and Roblox. Undervalued stocks that you may want to consider as well. These were stocks that, at the start of 2022, we saw strong returns from COVID-19. During 2020 and 2021, many people found themselves with extra time on their hands, so they started day trading and things like that. We've seen a lot of uptick in an interest in playing video games as well, which boosted stocks. But that interest did not last forever. With the world reopening throughout 2022, gaming stocks lost a bit of value that they had throughout the pandemic. But the video game index gained 3.9% for the trailing 12-month period, while the broader stock market rose 9.8%. And this is measured using the Morningstar US Market Index. For the calendar year of 2023, the video game index is up 11.9%, while the broader market has gained 18.1%. These undervalued stocks are some that you may want to consider based on these metrics. Historically, stocks with moats and low valuations tend to outperform over longer periods, but of the 57 video game based stocks in this index, only 9 are covered, and these were the 4 that Morningstar has labeled as undervalued as of August 8th, and that is Roblox, NetEase, Electronic Arts, and Nintendo. And Roblox was trading at a 42% discount to Morningstar's fair value estimate, and it was the least undervalued stock is Nintendo, which is trading at 12% discount to its quantitative fair value estimate. NetEase and Nintendo are based outside of the United States, but U.S. investors can still buy stocks as American depository receipts. So, the fair value estimate for Roblox is sitting at $60, NetEase at $146, EA at $150, and Nintendo at $12.52. And of course, this is not congruent with the prices that we just talked to you about, because this was like August 8th. So, but yeah, I just thought I would share some undervalued stocks that people might want to consider if they buy into the gaming stock market. But let's open up some mail.
You've got mail.
I think we've got quite the extensive.
We do have quite a mail discussion. And this week's mail stack question comes from Tim Twig.
Okay.
Someone you know says they want to get into gaming. They ask for a single suggestion. What game would you consider required reading for a person new to the hobby? And
that's hard.
my immediate answer was Minecraft. And the reason for that is because that was the game where my mom was finally able to understand how to operate a first person point of view character.
Okay.
Like she had really struggled to master controlling a character before then.
Yeah, and you're saying like quote unquote required reading as in like this is the game that you should start with that will teach you kind of thing.
That's one interpretation. Another interpretation would be like, what do you think are the can't miss games? The games that you have to experience.
That's what I originally thought, but Fire and Gasoline in the chat had posed this idea that this is something that somebody would have to jump into to learn how to get a feel for video games.
And I frankly, I will accept either answer.
So what is your
I have 2 other ones that I would name, and those are Portal and Tetris. Those are the 2 that I would say. Portal and Tetris.
Yeah.
How about you?
Tough. I think it's highly contextual to a person's preferences.
Absolutely.
Right? If a person if you like driving games, start with Mario Kart. You know?
Yeah, it's a great place to start.
If you like first person shooter games, start with Fallout. I don't know. Required reading, like I don't know. My required reading was Fallout.
Yeah. Which one?
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3. A very good choice. I don't know that I would consider it a first-person shooter, though.
Yeah, I mean it's like a loot 'em, shoot 'em kind of thing.
It's really an RPG.
Yeah.
Let's go through some of the community answers. So Fire and Gasoline says, when you say required reading, do you mean something that would help that person learn, or something that the gaming community hails as the golden goose egg of all games? Tim says closer to the latter, something that highlights the best of the best as far as what gaming entails. You wouldn't give an adult new reader hop on pop, know what I mean? You'd give them delicious literature, something that exhibits the best the medium has to offer. So, Fire and Gasoline replies that her emotional recommendation would be any game from the Fallout series, because Fallout 3 is the game that got them into gaming and keeps them gaming. But her Golden Goose recommendation would be Red Dead Redemption 2. It had beautiful graphics and storyline. Green
Yeah.
Camps
Yeah.
Green Camp says it depends on the system, personality of the person, goals, and era.
Yep.
Tetris, Candy Crush, Columns, and Solitaire were my mother's. Dragon Warrior, Quest, Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, my brother's. Joining friends or family as a group activity in general, MOBA or team versus computer or MMOs. The main thing is a learning curve with controls and mechanics. And RTZ says that one of the best suggestions would be Portal because its tutorial starts from the real basics, such as looking around and walking, while the gameplay lets you stop and think. As a new player for any video games, your first boss fight is the controls. That's such a smart thing to say, RTZ.
I mean, I would expect nothing less.
Right?
Yeah.
He's the MVP.
Yeah.
Halo 1 starts off the tutorial similarly well, however, the gameplay becomes more hectic quickly. I had the issue recently when I bought the Steam Deck as I had never before held any kind of controller, and transitioning from keyboard and mouse was the tricky bit, even with games I already know and love. My second recommendation would be the Trine series, a charming platformer in a fairy tale world of physics puzzles. Also, arcade racers on easy mode. Driving is a concept people are familiar with, and it gives them a feeling of success. Additionally, Vampire Survivors is great, but gives no skill, only addiction.
You
And
know,
I'm just,
actually, Shalene, I'm gonna throw GTA out there.
yeah, I think
Like,
that's a good one as well.
any of the newer, like Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 5, because you do have to go through those mechanics of walking around, jumping,
Mm-hmm.
kneeling, going through interacting with objects and things like that, shooting and driving. It's everything in a game. Super open world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely a great, great answer. Great answer. Well, that's it for MailStack this week.
Good
If you would
question.
like to also contribute to the mail vendor, how would the people do that?
You can email us at info@wejustlovegames.com, though the more successful way to get your question in and also have some of the community weigh in on this question and contribute to the discussion would be to post it in our MailStack channel in our Discord. And if you'd like to access our Discord, you can go to twitch.tv/wejustlovegames, and the link is provided in our About page. Now we're going to move on to what the community's been up to. So, this is for you, Shalene, especially for you. This is the sunflowers.
Flowers.
The sunflowers in Farm Sim 22. They, of course, are all brown and cut down and swathed, but yeah, this is.
I think they're beautiful. Thank you for taking this screenshot for me.
It's really cute. Yeah, I love how you can. They just as far as the eye can see, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's really cute about the sunflowers in Farm Sim is that they actually turn based on
Yes,
the
to
sun.
follow the sun.
They follow the sun. So
Did you know that if a sunflower can't find the sun, it faces other sunflowers?
no.
Yeah.
You know what I just learned about green peppers yesterday?
Hmm.
If there's more than 2 lobes on the butt of the green pepper, it means that it's sweeter.
So interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Anyways, we have this screenshot from presumably Shalene. This looks like Shalene.
Yes, that's one of my screenshots. That's you and I having a pajama party.
This is last week's pajama party.
Yes.
Yeah. This was so cute. Shalene, explain it to our listeners.
So of course this is an Animal Crossing screenshot, and Vinder's in a little blue pair of pajamas and a straw hat, and he's just smiling and joyful, surrounded by flowers. And I am wearing a little bathrobe and some little slippers and some cucumber slices under my eyes, and I am sprinkling him with
Confetti.
confetti.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
brilliant. Yeah. Um, we also have this one I submitted. This I just took today. We had another pajama party last night, and I visited Shalene's island, and I bought this glorious witch's hat, striped witch's hat. It's orange and black, and I thought, this is the best hat for Anchovy. Anchovy is one of my islanders. So I went over to his place today and he wasn't there. And I was like, oh no, where's Anchovy? And then I found that he was walking around outside in the rain with a kiwi umbrella, which I love. And so I went up to him and I gave him this hat, and he loved it so much that he had to put it on right away.
So
And
cute.
he was like, "This is the best." And as I suspected, the hat does fit him very well.
It
Yeah.
looks amazing.
And then I submitted a couple of these screenshots. These were Jess's screenshots that she shared with us this week. She has an Islander named Walker, who is my favorite of all of her Islanders, and he has this crazy story. Island Walker is like a collie dog or something like that. Um, and it's just a bunch of dialogue of the two of them standing facing each other. And Walker says, I was making grilled cheese and saw a monster. I yelled and grabbed the wrong thing, and then, ouch! Promise me you'll always be super duper careful when you're cooking, because stuff can get real hot. Like, even if there's a monster and your grilled cheese smells so good, even then, watch out what you're doing. Man, there's nothing worse than eating cold grilled cheese because you weren't careful enough.
Oh,
It's just the
poor
best. It's
Walker.
just the best story, right?
That
Uh,
is so
he
cute.
just had a terrible time. All he wanted was his grilled cheese, and his face looks so sad. He's all like puppy eyes, right?
I want to know more about the monster though.
Yeah, like I don't
Was there
know.
really a monster?
Or did
Is
he just
Walker on drugs?
You always have to take it to a dark place.
Yeah. I just want to know. I want to know. Maybe he's off his drugs. I don't know Walker.
Maybe he's a sleepwalker and he was sleeping while he was cooking.
That doesn't sound very safe either.
No, no, definitely not. Yeah. Um yeah. Let us know what your suspicions of Walker are. We also have this wonderful screenshot. I believe this is from Vodka Knockers. And he says, back to playing the Thrawn's Revenge mod for Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
Empire at War after a major update recently. In the spirit of getting hyped for the upcoming Ahsoka show, I
Ahsoka.
I had Hera Syndulla lead a fleet with her Starhawk battlecruiser from the Star Wars squadrons up against an Imperial Super Star Destroyer. Cut things way too close, though achieved victory nonetheless. Note the early non-existent red health bar and one remaining hard point. And so this image is of his ship, or like the battle scene, and it says "We are
Yeah.
victorious," and then there's just like this tiny little yeah, health bar.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Hera is one of my favorite pilots in Star Wars lore. Love her.
We've got a couple farm sim shots from Taz. These were submitted yesterday. He says WJLG Ranch and Vineyard making attempts to fertilize crops with all natural sources like that of liquid manure instead of chemical fertilizers. And so he's got a shot of a tractor pulling, looks like a slurry tank or something with a sprayer on the back. And he is spraying a field that is presumably covered in lime because it's all white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he takes this glorious shot. He says the
Oh,
lawnmower from whenever vendor visits and wants to drive and chill around the ranch. And
it's so
it is a
cute.
picture of a riding mower. It's called the X mower, the 700T, and it's dark blue, and it's got some pretty hefty tires on it too. Looks
That is the cutest
real nice.
lawnmower.
Yeah, looks real nice. Anyways, that is screenshots and stories for this week. If you would like to submit some screenshots or stories or both, pop them in the screenshots and stories channel in the Discord, and we will shout them out and talk about them on the next show of GameStack Podcast. Yeah. What's next? Oh, we need to talk about what we've been playing. So, of course, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I'm going to get to that in just a minute because Shalene's and I's gameplay is probably going to be overlapping. But I did play some Farm Sim 22. I managed to get some baling and cutting done. All of my fields are now cut. It is November, and I'm frantically baling because the snow is coming. So normally everybody's done baling in like September and
So you're
October.
trying to make hay while the sun shines. That's what you're telling me?
Basically, yes. And so I'm just baling now, and we have a mod where you can add straw swaths to literally almost every crop. So I'm cutting my sunflowers, and there's straw swaths coming out the back of my combine, which is just the funniest thing because
Yeah,
you don't get that with sunflowers. Like, it's just chaff, right?
it's very silly.
It's so funny. But Shalene, these swaths are so huge. They are the biggest windrows of straw I've ever seen. It's like bigger than my tractor, and in some instances where I stop, it creates a giant mountain of straw that I can't get over with my tractor.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
The bales that I'm using to bale are 44,000 liters. They're massive, massive bales. Um, and yeah, I am not done baling that. I'm probably going to do that tomorrow morning over coffee. But it is almost winter. Winter is coming in the farm sim world in Edgewater, Saskatchewan. And I don't know how I feel about it, Shalene, because it's almost September here in Alberta. And the leaves are starting to fall, and it rained all day
Yeah.
today, and it was cold. It was like 10 degrees, and I'm starting to get that
Wow.
fall feeling, and I'm starting to freak out because winter, I hate winter. I hate it. I hate it. It's 6 to 9 months of cold and
Oh, I love
darkness.
fall though. I
Yeah,
love fall.
they're actually saying it's going to be an early season for the larch trees here. And the larch trees, they go like a brilliant bright yellow.
Get a
Uh,
picture for
I
me.
will. I will. So Um, other games I've been playing has been American Truck Simulator. I got my shifter finally put together. I'd lift it up, but it's too big, and super heavy because it's not supposed to move. So, yeah. Now, Animal Crossing. So, I've been super busy on my island. I now have a job because finally installed the Happy House DLC. So I go to Lodi's Island and I decorate people's vacation homes for them, and I get pokey, and then I can spend pokey in the store. Today I bought a black rubber duck. It's brilliant. Um, and what else has been happening? I've got the rest of my villagers moved in, so you can have 10, right?
Right.
So I've got 10. The new ones since last week have been Alfonso. Alfonso is this adorable alligator who is. I didn't know this, Shalene, and maybe you didn't know either, but you know how they have those little catchphrases that they say to you, like
Mm-hmm.
chicky or like chirpy or whatever,
Yes.
sharpy or. Well, his thing is it's a me. And I was like, that's weird. Like, that's very like Mario, right?
Yes.
Well, apparently, Alfonso is designed based on Nintendo's famous mascot, Mario, from the Super Mario Brothers series. Not only does he
Thing.
mimic Mario's famous "It's a me" quote as his initial phrase, but he also wears the Big Bros tee, which has a big M on it, a big M emblem.
Yeah.
And the rest of his shirt is red. So, yeah. His shirt, however, was changed in New Horizons to a simple parka. His external appearance is a subtle reference to Yoshi, Mario's faithful dinosaur companion. So I found that when I was digging up some info about this awesome character that I have on my
That is
island.
wonderful.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know what he looks like, he is sort of like a burnt amber orange. He has dark circles on his face, both on his cheeks, and his belly is white. His eyes are similarly formed, and his eyelids are like a light cyan blue. So, he's super cute, and I love his house. His house is like a children's playroom. He's got in the middle of the house, he has a toy train set on like a table that's like a miniature train model. He's got his super colorful like race car bed in the corner. Um, and then he's got a box of toys and then like a play castle, and like it's just like, and the wallpaper is like sailboats and all cute and stuff. It's really great. I also acquired Bangle last night, or yeah, Bangle, and she's a brown tiger with yellow stripes. She's got super big eyes, dark brown spots on her face, and pink on the sides of her ears. And she's sort of a peppy villager, and she's always in a good mood. She gets along with other villagers really well, including myself. And she's more into hobbies like bugs and fishing, which I think is great because I'm going to be
Hmm.
giving her all the bugs and fish. It's just going to be, those are the villagers that are the best because they're the easiest to gift, right?
Right.
When you have villagers that are into like elegant things or like educational, you're like, what do I give these people?
It can be expensive too when they
Yeah.
like fancy things.
Yeah. And let me just tell you, Shalene, I no longer live for myself. I live for these villagers. I am visiting. Last night we had Animal Crossing Thursdays, and I went to your island and I went in your shops, and all I was thinking about was like this cute banana colored dress would look great on Plucky. You know, this hat. I have to get this wig for Apple. By the way, I gave Apple the wig and she took it,
Okay, I hope she wears it.
but she hasn't worn it yet. So for those of
Okay.
you who know Apple, if you heard last week, she is this adorable 2-foot hamster on my island, and she thinks she's a pop star.
Tell them
And
about when she went for a run with Celia.
I will tell that story in just a moment. She when I was on Shalene's island last night, I bought this pop star wig that's like all like flowing and cascading and ginormous, and I was like, I have to give this to Apple because like it's gonna look so ridiculous on her. But back to the story. So I went up and I talked to Celia. Celia is one of the eagles on my island. She's the only eagle on my island. I have a lot of birds actually. Now that I think
You
about
do
it,
have a lot of birds.
yeah. Plucky, Anchovy, Twiggy, Celia. Like half of my islanders
Yeah.
are
It's 40% birds.
birds. Um, so I go up to Celia and I'm like, "Hey Celia, you know what's up, girl? Like, what you doing?" She's like, "Oh my god, I have the craziest story for you." So she's she's like, "So Apple comes up to me the other day and she says, "Let's go for a run." Like, I want to go for a run, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let's do a run." Um, and she's like, "So we go for a run," and she's like, "It was more like a brisk walk." I didn't actually feel like I was running at all. And if you think about the context, Apple is this 2-foot hamster with these tiny stubby little legs, and Celia is this 7-foot eagle, colossal standing eagle. And it was just the cutest thing ever. I just imagine
Take like
Apple
20 little apple steps for one
trying
stupid
so
step.
hard just to keep up with Celia, and Celia's like, well, this is not a run. I just thought it was the funniest story. It was just the best. I was totally not expecting that. It definitely came out of left field.
It's so
Yeah.
cute. It's so cute.
Anyways, so Bangle has moved to my island, and she's supposed to resemble like the Bengal tigers,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, so she's there. She looks super cute. I love her little outfit and the way she looks. I don't actually have a tiger, so. And then
Nice.
today I picked up my last villager of the 10, and her name is Velma, and she is a pink goat. She's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
She's got dark pink freckles on her face and white hooves and glasses. And her glasses are a bit cat eyed. And she has these like red bangs that are a bit parted. It's super cute.
Cute.
Yeah. Her ears stick out like crazy, and I love it. And um yeah, she has like brown choppy hair, but she also has this little small beard on the tip of her chin.
She's a goat.
I know. And then it makes like it's so funny. Um I didn't know this in Animal Crossing, but she's actually the only female goat in Animal Crossing with a beard on her chin. Yeah. So apparently she must be considered rare then, I guess. But she was like she's supposed to have a snooty personality, but when I went to the mystery island and I talked to her, um I was like, this is Shalene. This is exactly Shalene in an Animal Crossing character because she was like, "Oh, this don't you just think this island is just the loveliest island ever? This is I love it here. This is so nice." And then I was like, "Well, why don't you come to my island?" And she's like, "Oh, that is so nice, dear. That is so nice of you. I'm going to have to give that Tom Nook fellow a call and see if there's any room down there." And I'm like, "This is Shalene. This is Shalene in an Animal Crossing character. I can't handle it."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But anyways, she's very like cerebral apparently. And I don't know how she's going to get along with Biff because she doesn't get along with jock personalities.
Right, right.
And yeah, she will get along with other snooty or cranky villagers, so I feel like she may be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a couple lazy villagers and some fitness villagers as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Velma's not going to last long.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my kitchen is coming along. I bought a kitchen island on Jess's store last night for 170,000 bells. This kitchen island,
That was
they
expensive.
talk about how kitchens are expensive to reno in real life. Well, let me tell you, they are just as expensive in Animal Crossing. But this kitchen island is beautiful. It's got white granite countertops, and it's just the best. I sold my turnips today, Shalene.
Oh yeah, how'd you
Yeah.
do?
I bought in at the beginning of the week at 109 bells, and then everything went south. It tanked. It was like 60 bells and then slowly rising. But I came out on top at 309 bells. So I
Nice.
like tripled my investment
That's a pretty solid turnip
and I
price.
walked away with 175,000 bells. So I paid for my kitchen island.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Right? So, but it was a stressful week on the stock market, let me tell you. But I think I've cornered it. I think I've cornered the turnip stock market. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's my gameplay. What have you been up to?
Well, I've also been playing a lot of Animal Crossing as well. That's probably what I've done the most of this week. Fender, I caught the last beetle. I
Yes.
caught the last beetle. I have completed the insect section of the museum. We are done with the insect section of the museum. I only have one fish left and I'll be done with the fish too. So
Oh, the
come
fish are
November,
hard. The fish are
come
hard.
November, that fish is mine.
Oh,
Uh,
you know it's in November?
it's a November fish,
Mm.
yeah.
What fish is it?
So it's a blowfish.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Apparently, they only come out after 11, which is why I haven't caught it previously
Mm,
because I don't
mm.
I don't stay up till 11. I'm an old
Right?
lady.
Yeah.
I'm far too old for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Mm.
But after I caught this last beetle, I got I got a package in the mail the next day that contained the recipe for a golden bug net. Yes.
Nice.
So
As
now I
like a
have.
congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
I
probably thinking to yourself, this would have been nice like 3
While
years
I was
ago.
trying to catch these bugs, yeah. Now I've got a golden slingshot and a golden bug net, and I'm very proud of them.
Wow, you're so bougie.
Yes. And I inventoried my flowers to see what hybrids I have and what I don't,
Oh no.
because I needed a new project after I caught the beetle. So now I'm going to be working on flower hybridizations.
Oh no.
Most of them have happened naturally, but there are still about 4 or 5 that I don't have. So we'll be
Okay.
working on that.
Okay.
And I've been making daily visits to Harv's Island to get art from Red. Trying to finish up my art museum, and he's pretty shady, man. He's given me a lot of forgeries. Um,
It's great because she just sends them to me and I put them in my bathroom.
Oh my gosh. And of course, we've been doing Animal Crossing Thursdays. And honestly, that day gives me life. It's just, I have so enjoyed hanging out with you
It's
guys.
pretty good.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, it's you and me and Jess and Amy. And we all get together and island hop and hang out and show each other cool stuff and exchange presents. And it makes me so happy. And I enjoy it so much.
It's pretty
So,
good. I really enjoy seeing how people's islands have changed from week to
mm-hmm.
week. I'm really excited to see how Jess's island is going to be next Thursday.
Yeah, she is putting in some work revamping her island from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Jess, when we were there, I talked to Louie, which is one of her villagers, a gorilla.
Oh, the butt.
Yes, the gorilla with the butt. And Louie, her Louie, was my Louie. Louie was one of my starters. And I kicked him out because he had this obnoxiously visible butt, right? And like it made me uncomfortable, you guys. And so
Oh
I got
man.
rid of him at the first opportunity. But as I was hanging out at Jess's and I went into this house and there was Louie and I went up and talked to him and he's like, "Hey, Shalene, is that you? It's me."
I love that your voice is getting so high pitched that your mic is just auto muting you.
He
Yeah,
was so excited to see me. He's like, "It's me, Louie." Remember?
that's so good.
And Jess told me later that when he moved in, he's like, "Yeah, I'm Louie from Tortuga." So, of course, that's my island. Um, and then I had also told you guys that I had one of the gorillas move in. Her name was Violet. And I decided that I would let her stay because she was wearing a dress that was long enough to cover her butt.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning, she came up to me and was like, "So, darling, I'm going to be leaving."
I
And I'm
hate
like,
I hate how they just like drop it on you. Like it's
I'm
just
like,
like bam.
somebody told her about how I feel about the gorilla butts.
Yes, this was an
Somebody
inside.
talked.
This was an inside thing. Yeah,
Somebody talked.
definitely.
So goodbye to Violet. Let's see who I'll get next. And
Yeah.
I can't believe after so much time spent with Animal Crossing, I'm still seeing so much new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Jess had this fish purse last night. It was such a cute fish purse. Where'd you get that fish purse?
The fish
She got it
pouchette.
from she got it from the fishing derby. I knew you could get a cute fish purse from the fishing derby. I had skipped it the last few times that it came up because I wasn't having a good time. So I'm learning that I need to do more things and I need to spend more time at my job on Lottie's Island, like you were talking about. And today I made everybody a little glowing moss headband and mailed those out.
I love
And
it.
it's a
I
ball
love it.
of
It's so
glowing
good.
moss
Yeah.
on a little springy headband attachment. And it's ridiculous. And it made me happy.
As soon as I got it, I put it on because I was
Mhm.
like, this is everything. And I had a rain hat on and it was pouring rain and I'm like, I don't even care. It's
Well,
moss. It likes the rain.
yeah, the moss needs water.
Yeah, it'll be
So,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
great. I'm never taking it off.
I'm also
I'm turning into my villagers. Like I have to put this on right now and it's never coming off again ever.
Oh, we are having so much fun with this game. I've really enjoyed experiencing it together with you guys.
Yes. Yeah, it's been really
It's
good.
been really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've also still been playing a little bit of Fallout 76. It is the end of the season. Next week starts the new season. I haven't quite reached the end of the season, so I think I do have some extra Atom laying around. I'll probably just buy the rest of the scoreboard
Yeah.
with that.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, Something I did want to talk about though is the Ares quest that I did this week. So I've been working on these cost of business daily quests. And what those have been is Vinny Costa, who does the Riding Shotgun event,
Yeah.
has been tasking me every day with helping out one of his employees with their personal problems because they've all got these personal issues that are interfering with their work. So Vinny's not having this. He wants the work done right. So he's sending me to resolve their issues, and
Okay.
getting to know each of these characters on a deeper level has been really, really interesting. Like Kieran and Eugenie and Carver and Livy and now Ares was the most recent one that I did. He was the final quest line. And I'm not going to say what happens during this quest line because that's something that should be experienced for yourself.
Right. Right.
But it was so interesting that this whole quest line really served as an ending to that very first Wild Appalachia storyline. And I think you were still playing when they put out Wild Appalachia and all those
Yeah.
signs. The sheep squatch ate my brother,
Yep.
all that stuff. And it's really neat that years later now we're seeing some resolution for that whole storyline. And that was really, really cool. And I will give you the spoilers later off air if you want them. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta sink some time into that.
It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. So the cost of business daily quest, it's a one-time daily quest. It's a series of 6 or 7 quests. If you enjoy Fallout storylines, you'll enjoy this quest line. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Wow. Oh, busy week for games. Um,
I'm
yeah.
tired.
I guess that's a show.
It is.
Um, don't forget, we are sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. I do want to mention next week that Shalene and I are both away. There will be no show. So, talk amongst yourselves, play some games together, post some GIFs in the GIF Wars channel. And we will be back in September for a new episode of GameStack Podcast. In the meantime, send us some mail as well in the MailStack channel or at info@wejustlovegames.com. We're also on Twitter at We Just Love Games, Shalene at Shalene L, myself at Vedratron N. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/We Just Love Games, facebook.com/group/We Just Love Games. We record the show live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. You can also find our show on most regular podcast platforms like iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, and YouTube as well. Thank you all for listening. Shalene, what is the last word?
The sheep squatch ate my brother.
Good night, all.